All right, what is up, guys? How's it going? I am istherenoonelse, and the video I'm bringing you today, I have some good news for you guys, or a good experience so far from the Flames of Ambition patch. I've been playing it for the last week now on PC, been trying out a bunch of different builds, good fight, I mean, wins, losses, whatever, normal PvP stuff, but a lot of things have come from the Flames of Ambition so far, and I wanted to talk about it, like I always do, and to get people prepared for the upcoming patch on console this upcoming Tuesday. So, what are the good things? What are the things that I've noticed that I'm really enjoying? Well, let's dive into it. Number one, performance. Now, when I talk about this, I'm not saying that this is going to continue this way. I'm not going to say that it's clear cut, like there's no issues or anything like that. But for me and people that I've talked to on my Discord that have also been playing in PvP, performance is noticeably better, like a lot better. I've been playing, I mentioned this on Friday, but I've been playing in Blackreach on Xbox for about the last 6 months, because when I hop on at night, that's the only campaign that works for me. I can't play in Greyhost because performance is so bad, it's pop locked, and so I can't activate skills and abilities. I'm not going to play there. We're a lot of us are in the situation we want to play, but we can't because the game doesn't allow it to happen. So I play in Greyhost, or in Blackreach, sorry. On PC, I've been in Greyhost the last 4 nights. And yes, there's some lag. There's a lot of ball groups running around in Greyhost on PC. I know it's revolutionary thoughts here. And yes, there are some server issues, but it's noticeably less. And it's not everywhere. In the past, when I've played on PC, if there's 2 to 3 ball groups running around, you felt the lag everywhere. You felt the lag everywhere you went, and you're just like, oh man, I wish somebody would just wipe out these ball groups so we could all enjoy PvP. It's not their fault. You know, they're just PvPing too, but it's just, you could tell that the server just couldn't handle it. Now, I mean, I was at a 50v50, like I spawned at a keep, and it was just a huge battle, 50v50, and there was some skill delay stuff, but it wasn't bad. I could still fire my skills, like it wasn't too bad, and then I moved on. Last night when I was playing, DC was rolling literally 60 deep in Blackreach, and they're all stacked on each other, and I ended up going to a place to where they were, and all my skills were firing. Everything's been working really well. I haven't heard a single person that said that performance has gotten worse. Now, with this caveat, I do want to tell you guys that this has kind of happened in the past to where performance was good for like a week or so, and then it slowly degraded. There's no guarantee that this good performance on PC is going to transfer to console. I don't know. I'm not smart enough on the software gaming side to tell you guys like, oh, this is definitively going to like help everywhere. But they did mention in Flames that with the new CP 2.0 system that calculations were going to be a lot less per character. And I feel like that's made a noticeable impact on the server, and I feel like it needs to be pointed out because, yeah, I'm playing in an area I haven't played in 6 months. It's been good. Number 2, gameplay. It should come as to no surprise to you guys that I've talked about this a lot. I'm not a fan of tank metas. I'm not a fan of free damage proc sets. Both those things are gone this patch. The damage is high, and I'm enjoying it quite a bit. Now, we're all different in this regard. This is just my list. I like this type of meta. And it doesn't mean that I'm winning more fights or not, because everybody has damage. Everybody has damage, and I'm taking a lot of damage from a lot of different places, but it's fun because it's from the player. It's not just them, once again, stacking into a bunch of damage mitigation and running 4 or 5 people deep with a bunch of proc sets and dotting you down. If you don't build damage, or if you don't build in a certain way, you're going to die. And if you build to protect yourself too much, you're not going to have enough damage. And so damage is a little bit easier to come by than damage mitigation due to the sets that exist, but there's a give take there, and it's fantastic. I've been having a lot of fun with it. I've been having a lot of fun PvP. You watch some of the footage in the background. Yeah, this is just my personal preference, of course, but yeah, if you guys have been watching my channel, you know what I like. So obviously when they come out and they post a meta like this, I'm going to like it. So I mean, this should come as to no surprise that this is what this is. So I'm enjoying it quite a bit. PvP is going to be a lot of fun, in my opinion. A lot more fun for the next 3 months. Definitely a step in the right direction for my experience. Yeah. Number 3. Noticeable quality of life changes, especially in PvP. They now added Major Gallop to where you don't have to slot rapids, which is huge. Not having to slot rapids is so big in PvP. Because now you just move faster from keep to keep. The biggest issue that I talk to with new players, older players, whatever, like when I first started out, it was so frustrating to PvP because my mount speed was lower and I would ride from keep to keep. I would get ganked off my horse because my horse had no stamina. I would die, and then I had to respawn and ride back across this open field where a bunch of gankers still existed, and it was just frustrating. Now, I'm a glutton for punishment, right? You guys can tell. Like I like to play outnumbered 1vx, 2vx. Like I like people to just beat me up all the time. That's apparently what I get, where I get my kicks from. But some people aren't that way, and that's probably one of the bigger issues in PvP is just the dull mount simulator from keep to keep, trying to get to these fights, and if you die quickly, then you have to spawn back and you do it all over again, and it can be frustrating. Major Gallop, allowing your horse to travel faster from keep to keep, keeps the game more action-packed. It keeps the game moving. It keeps action happening faster. So if you die and you have to spawn back at the previous keep, you're there a lot faster. You don't have to I mean, I know on PC you have different add-ons to where you can just do that quick switch, but this is a nice quality of life change for console players that don't have to just go into their inventory, switch their skills, switch out. It's not a big deal, but the fact that you don't have to do that just makes it so much nicer. It's just those little things that really add up, in my opinion. So Major Gallop, it deserves to be talked about on its own. Also, the 20% movement speed while you're out of combat, it's also very nice. In the CP tree, like just stuff like that is really nice. That just makes it a lot more enjoyable to be in PvP, even when you're not fighting other players. So yeah. And then finally, I mean, we have to talk about CP 2.0. I've been playing with CP 2.0 for a week now. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it for a few reasons. Number one, they got rid of a lot of damage mitigation in the CP tree, and so you just take more damage. They got rid of the ability to stack a ton of impen also in the CP tree. Like in CP 1.0, I was running around with 3k, 3500 impen. You guys know I like more impen because I don't like getting sniped and bombed. Same build, and I do have lower CP on PC. I only have like 810, but my impen went from 3500 to 2000 to 2100, somewhere around there. Yes, I could stack it a little bit more, but I need my passives, and I had to sacrifice those sorts of things. So everybody just has lower impen. And now what does that mean? Well, if you have lower impen, that means you can take more bursts. So if you're not blocking and somebody crits on you, you're going to take a lot more damage than you did in the previous patch. So they eliminated a few different ways of people to be really tanky. Now they added a couple other things like health recovery with high ulti-gen and those sorts of things, and so there's other things that's more reactive stuff, but just the passive mitigation as well as the passive mitigation as well as those things just kind of makes it feel. Part of it is it's new, right? Like it's new, so it feels better. So that's some of it. Some of it is just really nice changes on that end. Like the calculation changes, obviously impacting performance so far, has also been a nice change. And also it's tougher to explain what CP trees are best. Like I'm slowly working on build videos for you guys. I'm slowly trying to figure out what I like and what I don't like and all these other sorts of things. Like I try to immerse myself and just try to know before I post videos. And I don't know how to post CP and talk about things because there's so many different things that look like they can be beneficial. And obviously I haven't experienced all of them. I don't know all of them. And so it's tough for me to go, yeah, this is clear cut best in slot. You want to do this, because you just sound like an idiot when you, I'm sorry, but if you say that without experiencing it, you're coming from, you don't know, is what I'm trying to say. And so I don't use those words unless I definitively, like I have a pretty strong feeling towards it. So I'll probably in the future just post my CP and just be like, this is what I'm running, this is why I'm running it, and people can make their own decisions, because it's so much more diverse. There's many other choices. There's choices for utility, there's choices for damage dealers depending on how they deal damage. There's multiple choices. If you want more survival, you have to sacrifice damage. It's not just the same CP on every single character. Like in CP 1.0, my characters more or less had the same CP. Offensive CP was a little bit different, but defensive CP is more or less the same. All my sword and board characters were about the same. My bow characters had the same ones. Now it's quite a bit different, because it depends on, like, do you want more offense? Do you want more defense? How are you getting your offense? Like, what are you doing offensively? Do you want this? Do you want this? Are you AoE or are you single target? What do you want to try and amplify in your build? What do you want to shore up on your build that you're lacking? Like, those things are important, and I think there's a lot of gray area, and that gray area is where it's fun for the game. When you don't have a definitive best thing, and there is a bunch of gray area, then that's when people make choices, and that's when people choose what they think is best for their character, and that's when you get more uniqueness, more variety, more exciting builds where people can say, hey, this is my build. I play this build in this way. This is my CP for my build, and it's not the same as everybody else's. Like, I'm gonna go on one more tangent here in this video, but I've gotten into talks, like, I mentioned my Discord a few times. It's links in the description if you want to go check it out. Talked to quite a few people on the Discord, and they're like, yeah, you know, this meta is going to be boring for the next 3 to 6 months because we only have so many sets. Well, every meta gets boring from my experience. Every single meta gets boring because there is a very strong meta. Some sets are just always better. Some skill layouts are always better. And you get these groups of people that flock to the best stuff because they want the best PvP experience. I don't blame them, anything like that. You bought the game, you want to have fun. That allows you to have the most fun. Run the strongest stuff. I totally get it. But when you have stuff like that where stuff is clearly the best and nothing's close, everybody runs that, and when they feel like they have to run something, when they want to run something else because they get bored, well, when you go from that and whatever else you run isn't nearly as good, you don't have as much, a lot of people don't have as much fun because they don't have the same amount of success. They don't have the same amount of satisfaction of getting the wins that they normally get. Now, that could either be through a strong build, a broken build, it doesn't matter. But when a meta is very strongly tilted in one direction, that's what ends up happening is people all run that. Like, I need this to compete. I have people that want me dead and want to drop their nether regions on my face, and I don't want that to happen, so I'm going to run the strongest stuff. And so the more gray area we have, the better. And so if you can say, like, the goal that I would say is if ZeniMax can come out and say, these are the sets, this is the balance for them, and as players in PvP, we can go, you know, I don't know if proc sets or stat sets are stronger right now. I don't know. Like, they have their own things. I don't know if Stamina Nightblade or Stamina Warden is stronger right now. I don't know if Stamina Templar or Melee Magicka Nightblade is stronger right now. Well, we know, but that's my point. Like, if you can balance these things and get them to where people don't know, then you can make choices. Then you can make decisions. So you can play one way, and when you get bored playing that way, then you can make another decision like, okay, I'm done with this build. I'm going to play a different build, and I'm going to have just as much fun because this build is just as competitive and it's different. See what I mean? So the CP so far, a lot of this is new for me. And so the newness is where a lot of the gray area is coming through. I'm sure at some point we're going to find out there's going to be something that's like, okay, you should probably be running this all the time. But it's not super clear cut because it's really build dependent. And that's the cool part. That's the really cool part. But yeah, thank you for coming to my TED Talk. I am istherenoonelse, of course. But yeah, the patch is pretty fun so far. And so I wanted to let you guys know. I want to let you guys know from my experience. If the patch wasn't fun, you know that this video would be a lot different because I've done this in the past. I did it with Scalebreaker. I did it like when other patches were bad and I did my review. I wasn't nice. I wasn't like, I was honest with you guys. I do videos. I try to be honest to you guys. I have no incentive outside of just being a player. I'm enjoying this patch. I wanted to let you guys know that I'm enjoying this patch because, yeah, I mean, that's what I want to do on my channel. So that's going to be the end of this video. If you guys have any questions or comments, please provide it in the section below. I will do my best to answer it. As always, guys, thank you for watching. Have a nice day.